Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, feeling a wave of uncertainty about the future? Maybe it's the thought of your health declining or the worries about finances. It's perfectly natural to have concerns, especially as we get older. But here's the thing, those fears don't have to take control of your life. In fact, there are steps you can take to face those worries head-on and transform the way you look at the future. Today, we're going to talk about how to overcome the fears and worries that come with aging. I know it's not easy, and you might have those moments where it feels like the future is just too unpredictable or overwhelming. But let me reassure you, what you're feeling is something that many people experience. You're not alone in this. And more importantly, it's possible to regain a sense of peace and control over your future, no matter where you're at in life. We'll dive into some strategies and mindsets that can help you not just cope with these worries, but actually turn them into opportunities for growth and happiness. We'll cover a few practical steps to help shift your perspective, manage your thoughts, and take actionable steps toward creating a future that feels less daunting. Let's start with the first step, embracing the present moment. When we think about the future, it's easy to get overwhelmed. There's so much that's unknown, and for some, it's the fear of illness, financial security, or even feeling like we've missed opportunities that keeps us up at night. But here's the thing, worrying about the future doesn't change anything. It just robs us of the present, and the present is all we truly have control over. It's natural to want to plan and prepare, and planning is important. But when we spend too much time focusing on all the things that could go wrong, we lose the joy in the here and now. What if, instead of worrying about everything that could happen, we focused on appreciating where we are today? For instance, take a moment and think about something simple but meaningful in your life right now. Maybe it's a cup of coffee in the morning, a walk around your neighborhood, or the sound of birds chirping outside. These little moments can bring us back to what's real and what's truly in our control. When you focus on the present, you're allowing yourself to experience peace, no matter what the future may hold. Now, I know that doesn't mean you suddenly stop thinking about the future. But it does mean that instead of allowing your worries to cloud your present, you can start putting things in perspective. Think about it like this, you might not have control over every aspect of your life, but you do have control over how you approach the present moment. The second step I want to talk about is taking small, actionable steps to prepare for the future, but without letting those actions turn into a source of stress. So many times, when we think about the future, we try to plan for everything, and that can feel like an impossible task. The key here is to focus on what's manageable, what you can control, and break it down into smaller, more manageable actions. For example, if you're worried about your health, rather than thinking about the entire journey ahead, why not focus on something small that you can start doing today, like taking a 10-minute walk? Or if finances are a concern, maybe it's setting up an appointment with a financial planner to get some clarity on your options. These actions don't need to be overwhelming, they just need to be practical and within your reach. Taking small steps towards your goals can help create a sense of accomplishment and clarity, which can, in turn, reduce anxiety about the future. And when you feel like you're actively preparing, you might realize that many of the things you're worrying about actually become much more manageable. Instead of staying stuck in the what-ifs, you're now actively moving forward, one small action at a time. But even when we focus on the present and take small steps, there's something that can still trip us up, negative self-talk. We all have that little voice in our heads that can sometimes be far too critical. It might tell us we're too old to change or that it's too late to worry about our health or finances. This kind of thinking feeds our fears and keeps us stuck in a cycle of anxiety. So, the next step is challenging that negative self-talk. The way you speak to yourself matters, especially when it comes to how you view the future. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not capable of making changes or that it's too late to improve things, then those thoughts will only fuel your worries. But if you shift your mindset and start recognizing that it's never too late to make positive changes, you can begin to reframe those fears into opportunities. For example, if you're thinking, I'm too old to start exercising, you can challenge that thought by reminding yourself of all the people who have taken up new activities later in life and thrived. Or if your worry is that you'll never be financially secure in your older years, you can focus on what you can do today, whether it's saving a little more each month or simply seeking out expert advice. It's important to remember that you're capable of much more than you give yourself credit for. When you challenge those negative thoughts, you take away some of their power, and in doing so, you free yourself to focus on what you can do to make things better. Now, before we move forward and dive deeper into the next part of overcoming fear, let me just leave you with this. The future can seem overwhelming, but it's not something to fear. With a little focus on the present, taking small steps, and reframing how you talk to yourself, you're already on your way to overcoming those worries. Let's move on to the next step and explore even more ways to handle those fears. Now that we've talked about embracing the present moment, taking small actionable steps, and challenging negative self-talk, let's take a closer look at another key element in overcoming fear about the future: building resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges, to adapt, and to thrive even when things aren't going the way we expected. It's one of the most powerful tools you can have in your toolbox, especially as you navigate the complexities of aging. A lot of times, when we think about the future, we focus on everything that could go wrong. It's easy to start imagining the worst-case scenarios, whether it's health issues, losing independence, or financial struggles. But resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about knowing that no matter what comes your way, you have the strength to handle it. You've already overcome a lifetime of challenges, and that resilience is still with you. It's easy to forget this when we're caught up in worry, but I want you to pause for a moment and think about everything you've already achieved in life. All the hurdles you've overcome, the changes you've adapted to, and the strength you've shown. Those experiences have built the resilience you carry with you today. And here's the thing about resilience: it grows stronger with time. The more you face challenges and work through them, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever comes next. So, instead of worrying about the future, start reminding yourself of all the tough moments you've already weathered. You've got the tools and the mindset to overcome new challenges, even if they look different from the ones you've faced in the past. One way to build resilience is by embracing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that you can improve, learn, and adapt, no matter your age. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, where you believe your abilities are set in stone and that it's too late to change. The good news is, your brain is capable of learning and growing at any stage of life. So, when you face fears about the future, whether it's health concerns, loneliness, or financial worries, adopt a mindset that focuses on growth and possibility. For example, if you're worried about health issues, don't think of it as a fixed situation. Instead of saying, "I'm just getting older, and that's how it is," try thinking, "I may be aging, but I can still make choices today that will help me feel better tomorrow." Whether it's incorporating more movement into your day, eating a healthier diet, or engaging in activities that bring you joy, you're still in control of your well-being. A growth mindset allows you to see challenges as opportunities for learning and improvement, not insurmountable obstacles. This shift in perspective can reduce anxiety about the future because it reinforces the belief that no matter what happens, you can handle it and continue to grow. But resilience isn't just about mindset. It's also about finding support and building connections. We often think that we have to face our challenges alone, but the truth is, asking for help and sharing your fears with others is one of the most powerful ways to ease anxiety. When you talk to others, whether it's a close friend, a family member, or even a therapist, you open up the space to share your fears and get support. Remember, you don't have to carry the weight of your worries by yourself. Sometimes, just talking about your concerns with someone you trust can help you see things from a different angle. It reminds you that you're not alone in your struggles, and that there are people who care about you and want to see you thrive. Plus, sharing your concerns can help you come up with practical solutions and reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. Another crucial part of building resilience is accepting that uncertainty is part of life. I know it's not easy, but the truth is, we can't control everything. And as frustrating as that may sound, accepting that uncertainty is just a part of living can help take the pressure off. When we spend all our energy trying to control the uncontrollable, we end up feeling drained and defeated. Instead of trying to predict the future and prepare for every possible scenario, try embracing the unknown. You don't need all the answers today. Focus on what you can control and trust that things will unfold as they're meant to. This mindset shift can help you let go of the constant need to have everything figured out and allow you to move forward with more peace and confidence. As we continue to explore ways to overcome fears about the future, another key element we need to focus on is self-compassion. Often, when we worry about the future, we do so with a harsh, critical inner voice. We tell ourselves that we should have done things differently, or that we're too old to change, or that we've missed our chance. This kind of self-criticism only fuels our anxiety and keeps us stuck in a cycle of negativity. Self-compassion is about being kind to yourself, especially during tough times. It's about recognizing that you're doing the best you can and treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. When you approach yourself with compassion, you take some of the pressure off and create a more supportive inner environment where growth and change can happen. So, the next time you find yourself spiraling into fear or worry about the future, try pausing and asking yourself, what would I say to a friend who was feeling this way? Chances are, you'd offer them words of encouragement and comfort. Why not offer yourself the same kindness? When you embrace resilience, a growth mindset, support from others, and self-compassion, you start to break free from the fears and worries that often come with aging. It's not about eliminating fear altogether, it's about learning how to manage it and create a life that feels full of possibility, rather than one dominated by anxiety about the future. Now that we've discussed these strategies for building resilience and shifting your mindset, let's move forward and look at some additional ways to cope with fear and uncertainty in later life. Stay with me, because we're about to dive into more practical steps that will help you take control of your future with confidence. Now that we've talked about resilience, shifting your mindset, and embracing self-compassion, let's take a closer look at some practical steps you can take to actively create a future that feels more manageable and less overwhelming. These next strategies aren't just about thinking differently, they're about taking tangible actions that can help ease your worries and give you a sense of direction and control over the days ahead. The first step in this next part is about setting small, meaningful goals. When we think about the future, it's easy to get lost in big, broad concepts, like worrying about your long-term health, finances, or overall happiness. But these big concerns can quickly become too much to handle, especially when you don't know where to begin. So, instead of focusing on everything at once, why not break down your concerns into smaller, actionable goals? Let's say one of your worries is about your health. Rather than thinking about it in a way that feels overwhelming, what if I get sick, or what if I can't take care of myself in the future? You can start by setting smaller, attainable goals. Maybe it's committing to walking for 10 minutes a day, or incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your meals. These goals are specific, achievable, and, most importantly, within your control. By setting small, manageable goals, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment with each step, which helps counteract feelings of fear or helplessness. The same applies to your finances. If you're worried about your financial security in the future, rather than imagining the worst-case scenario, start by setting a goal to review your budget or meet with a financial advisor. Even if you only take one small action at a time, it will make a big difference in easing your anxiety. When you break things down like this, it's amazing how much more in control you feel. And the best part is, you'll begin to see the positive results of your efforts, which will reinforce your sense of confidence and empowerment. Next, let's talk about finding purpose and meaning. This is such an important factor when it comes to overcoming fears about the future. A lot of people, as they age, worry that their best years are behind them, that they've missed opportunities and don't have much left to contribute. But nothing could be further from the truth. At any age, finding purpose can be a powerful antidote to feelings of fear and uncertainty. Whether it's through volunteering, pursuing a hobby, mentoring younger generations, or even simply sharing your life experiences with those around you, having a sense of purpose can bring immense fulfillment. Maybe you've always enjoyed gardening, painting, or writing, but haven't had much time to focus on these passions in recent years. It's never too late to pick them up again. Or maybe there's something new you've always wanted to learn, like playing an instrument, learning a new language, or even taking a cooking class. The important thing is to find something that ignites that spark inside you, something that fills your days with joy and gives you a sense of meaning. Studies have shown that having a sense of purpose is not only good for your mental health, but it can also benefit your physical health by reducing stress, lowering blood pressure, and even improving sleep. So, no matter where you are in life, ask yourself, what brings me joy? What can I contribute? Finding your purpose doesn't mean having to take on a grand project. It can be as simple as having a small, meaningful activity that gives you something to look forward to every day. Another step you can take to ease fears about the future is to cultivate gratitude. When we're focused on what might go wrong, it's easy to overlook all the good things we have in our lives right now. Practicing gratitude is an incredibly powerful tool that can help shift your mindset from fear to appreciation. You don't have to wait until everything feels perfect to start practicing gratitude. It can be as simple as taking a few moments every day to reflect on what you're thankful for. Maybe it's your health, the love of family and friends, or even the small things, a sunny day, a delicious meal, or a good book. Research shows that regularly practicing gratitude can improve your mood, increase your sense of well-being, and even improve your physical health. It helps reframe your mindset, moving you away from worry and towards a positive outlook on life. So, I encourage you to try this out. Each morning, take a few minutes to jot down 3 things you're grateful for. It might seem simple, but over time, you'll notice how your perspective starts to shift. The more you focus on the positives in your life, the less room there is for fear and anxiety. Now, let's talk about something else that can really make a difference when it comes to managing fear: staying connected with others. Social isolation can be one of the most significant factors contributing to feelings of anxiety and worry as we age. The more we isolate ourselves, the more our worries can grow, and the less support we have to deal with them. That's why it's so important to maintain relationships and stay connected with others. This doesn't mean you have to have a huge social circle, but finding a few close friends or family members you can turn to for support is key. And don't be afraid to reach out to new people. Whether it's joining a class, a club, or participating in a community event, connecting with others gives you a sense of belonging and reminds you that you're not facing your fears alone. If mobility or travel is a concern, there are plenty of ways to stay socially engaged through technology. Video calls, online forums, and social media are all great tools for maintaining relationships with loved ones. Being able to share your thoughts, concerns, and experiences with others can help you feel supported and remind you that you're part of something bigger than yourself. Lastly, I want to leave you with this reminder: it's okay to ask for help. If you're feeling overwhelmed by your fears or worries about the future, whether it's related to health, finances, or anything else, seeking professional help can be incredibly valuable. Therapists, counselors, and support groups are available to help you work through your emotions and fears in a safe, supportive environment. There's no shame in asking for help when you need it. In fact, it's a sign of strength and self-awareness. Overcoming fears about the future is not about eliminating worry completely, it's about learning how to manage those fears so they don't control your life. By taking small, actionable steps, finding purpose, cultivating gratitude, staying connected, and reaching out for help when necessary, you can begin to take the power away from your fears and build a future that feels empowering, fulfilling, and full of possibility. Remember, you have the strength and the tools to create a future that's filled with peace, joy, and purpose. Take it one step at a time, and trust that each day brings a new opportunity to live your best life. Thank you for joining me today. If this video has helped you, please consider liking it, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and subscribing for more content that can support you in living a vibrant and fulfilling life. Here's to living your best life at any age. You've got this.